We're back with more Southeast Texas Weekly, and we're speaking with foot and ankle specialist, Dr. Japera Levine. And if she looks familiar or the name rings a bell, she is the sister of Dr. Masanthi Levine here in Beaumont. And you recently returned home after spending some time in Baton Rouge.
Yes. I spent some time in Chicago, in Boston, and Philadelphia, and I've been away from home for the past 12 years. And so it is a pleasure to come back home and open my business. We opened on January 2nd, and we're located on the campus of Baptist Hospital. Our phone number is 833-FOOT, so you can't forget it.
You can't forget it.
No.
That's exactly what we're talking about today, keeping your feet. I know I have a lot of relatives, my mother included, who is diabetic. She has lots of foot issues, and she's always making statements like, I'd rather die than lose my feet. But then at the same time, she's not taking the best care of her feet. So we're talking about what you need to do to prevent foot loss, prevent amputation. And during the break, we were talking about our nail salons and the role that they play in causing problems for you.
I can tell you the amount of patients who walk into my office because of something that has occurred in the nail salon is astronomical. The tubs that you use that you soak your feet in, they typically have a large amount of fungal and bacterial infections. They live in the pipes. So the moment you get up and the next person sits down and they run the water, the fungus and the bacteria is coming right into that bowl and that basin, and you're soaking in everyone else's fungus.
When they turn that jacuzzi
the moment it turns on, because you have to disinfect the pipes after every client.
Just disinfecting that bowl really does nothing.
It does nothing. In addition, the instruments that are used, they use them from person to person, and I can tell you that they have to be autoclaved at a certain temperature and pressure for a number of minutes, more likely more than 30 minutes. And I can tell you those autoclaves are hospital-grade autoclaves. And if you don't do that, then bacteria and fungus are housed on those instruments. The last portion is the polish. From the primer to the minute they put that primer on, if someone has a fungal infection and you come behind them and pick the same color, the fungus is transferred from person to person. And I can tell you by the time the patient comes into my office, you've already been infected many, many, many times, okay? And so because of that, the nails get thick, they get dark, and fungus is contagious, which means that if you have it and you're walking around your home barefoot, you're typically spreading it to someone else as well, okay? And so it becomes a part of the nail, and then it jumps into the skin, and then it becomes a fungal infection in the skin. And I can tell you don't know how many people in this area with our climate, which is warm and hot, fungal infections are run very rampant. And the huge culprit here in this area are the local nail salons.
Now, you're not telling us not to get our nails done, because your nails are beautiful.
Exactly.
So just tell us, what do we need to do then when we go to the nail salon? Would it be smart, for example, to have them not turn on the jets?
I can tell you, in a lot of cities that I've lived in, a lot of people elect to get what's called a dry pedicure. Okay. And they do not use water in order to soften the nails or to essentially soften the skin, because by that time, you're really hiding the dryness and the cracks, okay? In addition, whatever cracks you do have open, that fluid is seeping into that area. Exactly. I can tell you a lot of times my patients come back with nicks and cuts from the instruments that have been used in the salons, and I can tell you they get infected. And especially with my diabetics, where your immune system is already compromised from the diabetes, something as simple as that, you can get a fungal and bacterial infection, which will then cause you to be in the hospital. I see it all the time, okay? Now, with my diabetics, there are a few ladies that I do recommend here in the area who I send a lot of my diabetic patients to. And doesn't mean that you can't go to the local salons. You just need to be very careful.
Another smart thing might be to bring your own polish.
I would agree. However, even the primer that is used in the salon has already been inflamed or infected by another client. So it's best to bring everything pretty much on your own and that you use on your own. Another place that I know uses at least a very good technique is Christus Hospital. They have their own spa there.
Right.
There's also a young lady, two young ladies that I found here locally that I send a lot of my patients to. And like I said, it doesn't mean you can't go and get your manis and petties with your girlfriend.
At your favorite salon.
Absolutely. Right. You just need to inform them, hey, this is the condition I have. please be careful. Please make me aware of what you're going to do before you do it. That way I'm aware, okay? And so I think that in telling those to the patients that way, and if they do have a problem, and that's another thing, I'm big on educating. If you do develop a problem, come in, let's deal with it before it becomes a larger problem.
Don't try to self-medicate
or do what we call your hospital, your bathroom surgeries. That's what we call it. Yes, yes.
All right, we're down to only about a minute, so if you could quickly touch on neuropathy, you wanted to talk about that.
The neuropathy, I can tell my patients burning, numbness, or tingling. Okay, those are 3 symptoms that a lot of my neuropathic patients have. We do an exam, a small exam in the office, and I can tell you what happens with my neuropathic patients. Things are happening to the body and the signal is not being received to the brain. And so damage is being done and then you just don't know. And like we had mentioned earlier, it's just too late by that time. So there are exams that we do in the office to make sure that you do have the appropriate amount of feeling for temperature, vibration, perception, all of those things that are involved. And not just diabetics lose their feeling. Alcoholics also have neuropathy as well. And a lot of people who have lower back problems, degenerative joint disease, people who've been exposed to several back surgeries. That is another reason why people have neuropathy.
Okay, was not aware of that. Yes. It's usually associated with diabetes.
It is, and that's what in the community a lot of people think that. But I can tell you that I always try to find the cause of your neuropathy. And that's the main concern when you come in to see me.
Very good. And again, we can see you on the campus of Baptist Hospital.
Yes, yes.
Very good. Well, we always learn a lot from your visits, so we'll have to have you back again.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you, Dr. Levine, and thank you for watching. This has been Southeast Texas Weekly. Have a great day.
Yes.